Alright, so if you guys have been keeping up with my channel for a while now, you know that 2 years ago I posted the trailer for the Prime All Might vs Prime All For One movie, where I embark on this journey to make a non-existent story to exist from basically just a little bit of hints and takes here and there from both All Might and All For One. So I started doing some research. What really shocked me was the fact that a lot of people seem to really underestimate All Might when he's solely a powerhouse. He's basically the strongest character in the My Hero Academia universe. That's where I come in. I'll be diving into All Might's greatest feats and accomplishments and show you just how truly powerful he is, and at the end we'll be diving into his prime side a bit, since we got a little bit of a glimpse here and there, since he's also really underestimated in that part. So without further ado, let's get it on. Really quick, if you do enjoy this video, make sure to join the channel and thumbs this video up and tell me what you think down below in the comments. So as we all know, Yagi Toshinori is basically the strongest MHA character so far. He's been the symbol of peace for over 20 years, and that didn't come from nothing. He's literally been breaking his own limits over and over again. He's basically Superman in anime. Even after he got injured by All For One, he kept breaking his own limits again until he basically lost the power of One For All. If we were to take accomplishments for example, then we can start with something simple. All Might basically punched a huge conference container that had 50,000 people in it. He literally punched it in the air and went down with it, landed with it and with the whole 50,000 people inside of it. And that's even when he's injured. That's not even in his prime state. He also stopped a bomb mountain by making a tornado that targeted every single bomb in its disposal. Some other simple feats he accomplished: he stopped a tornado by a single punch. He leveled up a whole city block in a random and suppressed punch. And that wasn't even, him going all out. He was just just casually just swinging his arm and holding back because, Bakugo and Deku were there. He also leveled up hundreds of mounted level punches, defeating a monster that can basically absorb his power and sending him beyond the fucking stratosphere. And also his greatest move, the United State of Smash, which was strong enough to destroy most of Kamino and basically have flying buildings in it. Now in terms of speed, he was able to change weather with simply just moving. He's so fast that he's able to defeat hundreds of villains that top heroes like Endeavor struggle against. Now before I go on and tell you guys about how powerful All Might and just keep listing off great accomplishments he did, I want to make something very clear. Sometimes statements in the manga that doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of going back and forth between chapters, and it feels wrong. I would recommend checking out Seththeprogrammer's video because he did dive into calculations and stuff, so I would recommend just checking his video out. I'll link it down in the description. And I honestly don't hate on the story or don't think the story is bad or anything for that. I just wanted to make it clear because sometimes you see All Might doing those great accomplishments, or not just All Might, Deku or Bakugo or the other UA students, but sometimes they're huh, why are they so weak in this chapter, even though they're using 100% of their power and stuff. So Weakened All Might is basically city level with the speed of light, and Primal Might. What about Primal Might? What exactly is going on with him? We actually finally got a little bit about him, not in the original My Hero Academia manga, but in the Vigilantes manga, which is basically where I take some of my statements from there. And I know some people are gonna be no, it's not canon. No, it's 100% canon. And basically the author, Hokushi Sensei, does actually check with the manga weekly. It actually just finished a couple of months ago, but he was checking every week with them, so you can rest assured that it's 100% canon. So in the My Hero Academia Vigilantes manga, we actually got to see a little bit of Primal Might here and there, and it was really exciting to see. Brace yourselves because there is going to be a lot of interesting jaw-dropping moments. All Might was basically able to travel from Tokyo to Osaka and beating up a dozens of villains and saving citizens and stuff in the matter of seconds. He was basically able to travel there in seconds without him even going full speed, because we know by All Might himself, if he travels full speed, he's basically just going to cause thunderstorms and tornadoes just by basically moving. And after he arrived, he basically just beated down the villains and saved the city, basically the whole matter in the terms of 3 seconds. All For One himself was basically pretty shocked by that. And you don't have to forget that he did that after working for 70 hours straight. He didn't get any break, because we know All Might in his prime wasn't actually like getting tired at all. He basically stated himself that I could fight on and on and on without getting tired, despite like Gigantomachia himself. We know that he does like fight for more than 48 hours and he gets like 3 hours sleep and then he gets back again, but in terms of All Might or Prime All Might, let's say, he was basically never tired. He was basically never running out of breath, always there to save the day. A lot of people seem to also like mistake Primal Might being stronger than his weakened self by like 40 to 60 times, when in fact he's a lot more stronger than that. Taking the statements of like his fight with Nomu, he's like 300 times stronger than Nomu, I would say, in his prime state. By going with that, easily he can level up multiple cities with a random punch, being able to move faster than the speed of light by multiple times, so that puts him like in he can level up Iceland's 2 countries, and him being able to destroy the earth with multiple punches, not like with 1 or 2, but like with really heavy punches, same like with the Nomu. And if you are wondering or thinking, I'm being a bit over, just see what he does in every fight. He's been in, like, over the career we have seen him in, both in the manga and in the anime. He's been holding back every single time. The only time we see him actually not holding back were with the Nomu at the end and with All for One at the end, when everyone, like, has been clearing out. Imagine if we were like to remove Nomu from his place and let All Might just basically punch into like thin air over 300 punches. It would be a whole catastrophe. It would be like big mountain level punches after another. If you actually like think about it, All Might was actually pretty smart. He was letting loose after he knew like, you know, this guy can basically absorb my power, so if I were like to punch him, it wouldn't cause like huge shockwaves and basically send this Judas beyond the freaking stratosphere just because like of the impact of the punches. And at the end, like when he does like the final go beyond plus ultra punch, we can actually see like the whole punch being absorbed and then at the end it getting like loose. It's not even like going full power, like full scale on all at once. It gets like loose at the end, so that's why like it causes not like really like it doesn't take like the whole stadium with it, you know. And even like with his case with All for One, he basically was holding back, and even like when All for One basically said himself like, you are still holding back against me because there's people around and stuff, and when he finally was able like to let loose, he was basically just being able to keep like one arm in his muscle form and the rest of his body is just like being a skeleton, and the United State of Smash wasn't like his most like powerful go beyond kind of like thing. He wasn't being able to unleash it like as like a normal punch like he does like in a Detroit Smash. It was basically the last embers of One for All. Like imagine if he did that in his prime state. Just think about it and do the math yourself. I wouldn't like go inside that because it would create like so much impact that it wouldn't just be possible to believe. So you might be asking, why did I decide like to do this video all of a sudden? Why not like from the beginning? I do have my face as an All Might avatar, so why did I decide to do it now? Well, basically because the release of part 3, which is basically in December, hopefully, will probably cause a lot of debate, and not just part 3, but the movie in general from part 3 and on, would cause a little bit of debate here and there, so I wanted to make that clear before, you know, we release the part 3, and everyone, you know, start making accusations of like, oh, All Might is stronger than Deku or Saitama or something like that, because he's not. Because we both know that's not true. At the end of the day, All Might or the MHA universe is not made to be compared like to the most powerful anime characters in anime history. If you were like to put All Might on like power tier list of anime characters, he'll probably like be an A or a B tier compared like to Saitama or Goku, where they are like an S tier or something. We also know that Horikoshi Sensei like won't make his characters travel around the earth with like the speed of light or make them like fight on the moon or something like that. The MHA like story in general is basically kind of like a ground level sort of a story. It talks about, you know, the heroes and the humans' problems, and at the end of the day, how Deku is going to be the #1 hero and what his career is going to end up to. And I know it's sad for some of you guys who want to see like the real extent of All Might, but that's where I come in, because I promise you, as like the director of this movie, I'm going to deliver like something of a version of All Might that you probably haven't seen, or you probably will never see. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it right now because the manga is not done yet, so I don't know what Horikoshi Sensei will do. But I'm gonna deliver like the best MHA fan movie possible. I really have a great group of fan animators, so we're gonna try to deliver the best quality possible. with, you know, just going full on All Might and full on fight mode and everything you guys probably wanted in a fight, because I know a lot of you guys have been saying like the first fight of All Might and All for One had a lot of talking, not a lot of fighting in it, but you know, this fight is a little bit of a opposite thing. So I hope you guys get excited for it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I have been the Manga Viewer, and I'll see you all next time. Matane.